Welcome to the Little League Softball Regionals on ESPN, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Game number 2 in Warner Robins, Georgia in the Southeast region. It is an elimination game between South Carolina and Georgia. The winner, though, will advance to play tomorrow against North Carolina. North Carolina dropping its first game of the competition earlier today. So North Carolina will play the winner of this upcoming game tomorrow at 2 Eastern on ESPN. North Carolina actually lost the game, but they get to be on ESPN tomorrow. So that's a benefit of winning this game, get to be on national television. Georgia, the hometown team, has been thrilling the hometown fans all week. They dropped their first game to Florida and have come back to win their next 2, Brittany.
And a big reason why is their shortstop and leadoff batter, Cami Sisa. She has been outstanding. A left-handed shortstop affecting the ball on both sides, but with her bat, she does it in a multitude of ways. She can beat out infield singles, just the pressure she puts on the defense with her speed, and then she has power, and I mean clutch power. They needed this triple in their comeback against Virginia, and Cami Sisa stepped up, and you see her dad, the manager of this team, were fired up.
Well, South Carolina, on the other hand, Riley Bigler, a player that was here last year, has come up big for them, and this South Carolina team beat West Virginia to start the week, then dropped a game to Florida, and beat Tennessee yesterday. There's Bigler making the turn. She'll be at shortstop today, but she can play all over the place.
She can, and she can hit. Her favorite player is Jordy Ball, one of the best two-way players that our game has seen, and Riley Bigler can pitch and hit. Her hitting has been huge for them in the leadoff spot. South Carolina has scored at least 2 runs in the first inning of every game they played. A big reason why is because Bigler is leading them off. She has power to all fields, and she is coming back from a broken wrist. And that injury has not slowed her down one bit.
Broke her wrist before districts and has come back. Actually has gotten some work in the circle. That was the last thing that was to complete the comeback from that broken wrist. Here's a look at their continuous batting order. They're 1 batter short. Lily Nix was injured earlier this week. We saw her in the stands today. She's here supporting her team from the dugout, and this South Carolina batting order is going to face Kara Gottney in the circle.
And Kara Gottney's gotten some work for Georgia. She's started a couple games. They have a 1-2 punch, and usually Gottney gets them started and sets the tone for Georgia in the circle.
Georgia has a lot of depth at the pitcher position. Make sure she's got the right armband.
Very important.
Went over to Hayden Overcash, got the correct armband. This Georgia team is from this Little League in Warner Robins, so a lot of fans here are watching the hometown team today. And we've started this second game with a ball to Riley Bigler. Bigler will be playing shortstop defensively today. An expert at solving escape rooms, wants to be a criminal psychologist. Takes pitch inside. South Carolina in the all white today with the feels like temperature over 100. That's a good move. Bigler 4 for 8 this week. Gottney falls behind in the count 3-0. Her sister also on this team is playing at first base. Look at Sis, Gottney's sisters, Lania at first base, pitching is Kara. We also have the Overcash sisters on the field. Hayden's at second and Kylie's in right field.
It's a nice response by Kara. Gottney in the circle, fell behind to the first batter she sees of this game, but has now worked its way back to a full count.
Bigler, one of the 8 players that played in this regional last year, and they've made it back. The 3-2 pitch coming. Hit on the ground, Sisa charges it, makes the throw, not in time. Bigler beats the throw. So Gottney made the catch at first, but not in time to stop the speedy Bigler.
This is all Cami Sisa could do. Tremendous shortstop. The left-hander, I mean, the speed of Bigler, we've seen it all week long, really affect teams, just beating out a routine ground ball. Just doing what she does best in that leadoff spot.
Callie Hillick up to bat now. Hillick has also had an excellent regional. Good behind the plate. Also playing a little bit of third base today. South Carolina switches out their catcher from inning to inning. Two and one the count. Zach Durham, the manager of the South Carolina team, said that as soon as they were eliminated last year, they had a goal of getting back to Warner Robins, and that is a very difficult goal to achieve, but they've done it. Back-to-back state champions, their Little League in the Greenville, South Carolina area, Northwood Little League. Here's the 8 players that made that commitment and are back playing today from last year's team. Inside, runner going, Bigler going to easily take second base. So South Carolina right away with a runner in scoring position and a full count for a second straight batter.
You mentioned the commitment those 8 players made to get back here, and it is a commitment. Coach Zach Durham said they started working to get back here last summer, and here they are.
Strikeout number 1 registered by Gottney. So 1 down with a runner on second here in the top of the first.
Gottney goes up in the zone. One thing I really like about Kara Gottney in the circle is she's not afraid to go into righty. She has no fear of throwing in on the hands, establishing that inside part of the plate.
Ava Ahmed up to bat now. She'll be at first base, hits it on the ground to second. Over Cash makes the play. 2 down, but the runner moves to third, so Bigler is at third base as the base runner.
One thing to expect from this Georgia team is sound defense. Pitchers are going to feed the defense. They trust the defense behind them, and more often than not, they've been coming up big all week long.
Drew Austin, the batter now for South Carolina, one of her cousins plays in the Colorado Rockies organization. Takes a ball outside. Also a basketball player, so his next sport she's going to learn is boxing.
Georgia's able to get out of this after surrendering a leadoff hit to Riley Bigler is going to be huge because South Carolina has also scored at least 2 runs in the first inning of every game they've played so far.
Austin pops it over the second baseman's head, and that'll drive in a run. So Drew Austin with an RBI single to start the game as Bigler crosses the plate for the South Carolina run.
Just a good piece of hitting, not trying to do too much here, sees a pitch on the outside part of the plate, throws her barrel at it and drops it in for an RBI.
3 RBIs for Austin this week here in Warner Robins. Bryn Parks stepping up to bat now. Parks, a power hitter for this team. Goes after that first pitch, chops it foul. Got a courtesy runner at first base now. Ava Ahmed has come in to run for the catcher, Alston.
See Ava Ahmed motioning to her dugout. Come on, we got to keep the energy up.
Pick me up, pick me up. This is the hottest part of the day, just about. Ahmed will take second base. That got past the catcher Walters. So South Carolina with another runner in scoring position. There's a breeze blowing today, though, so that takes the edge off a little bit. Parks, pop fly, first baseman catches it, Gautney. But South Carolina strikes first. And we'll see Georgia coming to bat. South Carolina up 1-0. Little League Softball Regionals on ESPN are presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's. We're in the process of sending a team to a game tomorrow against North Carolina. South Carolina scoring first in the top of the first. It's our first look at the Georgia batting order today. Cami Sisa will be the leadoff. Very good leadoff hitter. Sets the tone for this Georgia team.
Tremendous leadoff hitter, 4 for 9 already in this regional, but you see Lania Gautney in that 3-hole. She's got a couple triples so far too, so when Cami Sisa gets on, you've got some big bats to get her in.
Look at Bryn Parks in the circle today.
Bryn Parks, just the 4 innings pitch, but she was very effective, just giving up the 1 hit, no earned run. She's going to be the mid-50s, has a nice drop curve and a change, but her coaches say the most important thing about her is that she's a true pitcher. She knows how to locate pitches based on counts, knows how to work when she's ahead. Very smart pitcher in the circle.
So Parks ready to face off against Sisa. Winner will play North Carolina tomorrow at 2 Eastern on ESPN. Florida's in the championship game on Wednesday. First pitch to Sisa is a ball. Sisa's dad, Brandon, the manager of this team. He's the third base coach right now, battalion chief of the fire department here. How's that off? Look at Brandon Sisa leading this team this year. Never wears the hat. He's the only coach that doesn't wear a hat.
It's so funny you said that. I was just thinking the same thing.
It's making a dermatologist cringe everywhere, but he's tough.
Look at that hair.
Well,
he's
fireman.
got nice hair. He's showing it off.
That's true. Good cut.
Nice mustache.
He's used to heat. He's a fireman. Some of his fellow firefighters. Yesterday, I think we had the whole department here, but you told me that people save their emergencies for Mondays.
Nobody wants to go to the hospital on the weekend.
Sisa with the base hit, and Cami Sisa, just as we said, an excellent leadoff hitter, does her job, gets on base, and makes way for Kara Gautney. Here it is again.
I feel like every ball that she hits hard. And just like we saw with South Carolina, leadoff getting on, a lot of speed over there too.
back-to-back Gautneys up to bat for this Georgia team. Kara, the older sister, up first. One day wants to be a nurse practitioner. It's that hard towards second base. Good backhanded play. What a stop by Beckett Moore, and got the force at second.
I thought for a second this ball was getting into the outfield, but Beckett Moore had other plans, ranging up the middle with a clean backhand. Nice little flip over to first base. And then check out this pick at first base by Ava Ahmed. Keep that ball in front of her. I think once you get to this part, I mean, to get to regionals, you've got to have good defense. But the further and further you along, the more important it is, and the better defense we see.
We sure did see a lot of good defense earlier today between North Carolina and Florida. These two teams following that up as well. It's a big hole, though, between the second baseman and second base. Giving up that middle, and there's the base hit. That gets just past the center fielder, Hollis Durham, and it is enough to move the runners to second and third.
That's an aggressive base running that we've been seeing from a lot of these teams, and especially Georgia. They are always looking to take the extra base. That ball smoked on a line up the middle. Couldn't hit it any harder, but just kind of trickles away from Hollis Durham. Not very far, but as soon as that is picked up by Kara Gautney, she is on her way to third.
Peyton Stewart up to bat now with runners at second and third in front of her. Only one out. So Georgia threatening here in the bottom of the first after giving up a run in the top of the first. Stewart, the lefty. Nice stop by the catcher, Austin.
Just trying to throw the change up there.
Kara Gautney was halfway home. Parks ahead in the count, 1-2 to the Chick-fil-A loving Peyton Stewart, who would buy a Chick-fil-A if she won the lottery. She needs to be aware, however, that Chick-fil-A's corporate policy is if you buy a Chick-fil-A, you have to work in it.
She'll just buy the whole corporation.
Just outside. Those Georgia runners itching to move. 3-2 the count. Oh, ball four. You're right. Yeah, wait, I think they're going to check it.
I think it's ball three, but
Yeah. They sent the runner, and now our home plate umpire, Anthony Thornton, going to check the count. I thought it was 3-2.
It is.
It is 3-2, okay.
Numbers.
I'm rarely right, but I want to.
I thought for sure you were going to say I'm rarely wrong.
No. Come on, Brittany. So Stewart with a full count. That is perfectly placed, and it'll drive in 2 runs. And Stewart gonna make it all the way to third base. So Georgia takes the lead 2-1.
And this is why Peyton Stewart did not want to accept that walk. She places this ball down the left field line, and you said it, perfectly placed down the left field line to score 2. Georgia takes the lead.
So a 2 RBI single stretched it out into a triple because of an error. And the local fans fired up. Great crowd here today in Warner Robins. Again, this Warner Robins team winning the state tournament on this field. Warner Robins has a great history in Little League softball. They won the Little League World Series in 2010. Hayden Overcash, the next batter, pops that high up. We've seen some plays in foul territory today, but Austin couldn't quite get there. Good try though. That was a tough one to catch.
Yeah, especially for the catcher. See Austin trying to find it. That sun has been trouble.
Peyton Stewart, the base runner at third, just one out. Hayden Overcash, one of the two Overcash sisters in the lineup. Patiently waits on that pitch, hits it to third base, and that is a great play by Callie Hillick at third base. Wow, from her knee.
Incredible play. Not only just to field this ball, lays out down the line, gets up on her knees and throws a strike all the way across the infield in the air. I didn't think there was any chance that play was going to be made. Callie Hillick, wow.
So 2 outs now, and Mackenzie White steps into the batter's box. Ball 1 to White. White made a trip to the Women's College World Series this year. Texas Tech softball fan. Good pitch.
Great pitch.
Parks trying to shake off those 2 runs coming across and get back up to bat. I thought about swinging, wisely took it. 3-1 the count. White said if she won the lottery, she'd tell no one.
So smart.
Just take her riches and stay quiet about it. That is way high up over to right field, and the right fielder, Ellis Hodge, makes the catch. But Georgia able to score 2 runs off a clutch hit from Peyton Stewart. Well, Little League is the most trusted youth sports organization in the world, keeping baseball and softball accessible for all kids. But its real power comes from you. So help us rally for Little League by texting RALLY to 345-345 today. Standard messaging rates apply. A lot of fans rallying around their teams today to get here on a Monday afternoon. These teams had to wait as well because the game before them went to extra innings. Worth the wait.
Incredible game.
Florida outlasting North Carolina in extra innings. Georgia takes a 2-1 lead into the top of the second. South Carolina up to bat. Durham the batter now. Nice pitch from Gottney. Hollis Durham also a competitive swimmer. I'm sure the pool would feel really good right now.
I'm sure that's the post-game plans.
Yeah. The hotel pool has been rocking this week. Durham trying to get something going here for South Carolina. They scored in their last at bat as well. High and inside. Full count.
South Carolina's done a nice job of working counts.
Count straight back. Durham will get another chance in the batter's box. Count stays full. All in for Bryn. Sure that's Bryn Parks, one of the South Carolina players. Durham's dad, Zach. In fact, that was his number when he played baseball, number 7. That's why Hollis wears the number 7 now. That was low. That's a walk.
Hollis Durham earned that walk, fouled off a couple pitches, was really disciplined out of the zone. South Carolina with the leadoff on and back-to-back innings.
Gottney about to face Beckett Moore. Have a couple of Moore sisters on this team as well. A lot of sisters playing this year. Beckett, 12 years old, said she accidentally swallowed some food coloring, but she's okay. But she feels like she died a little.
Good. You had me concerned.
I wish people could have seen your face. Nice bunt. And they get the lead runner, but one runner advances to second.
It's all about execution. We get this far in the tournament. Who can put the bunt down? Who can do the little things right? South Carolina and Beckett Moore with a perfectly executed sacrifice bunt to put a runner in scoring position.
So Hollis Durham in scoring position up there at second base, 1 out. Ellis Hodge, the batter now. Hodge goes after that first pitch. Hodge can try to figure it out like she does the Rubik's Cube. She can solve the Rubik's Cube. That's her special talent.
She's had it pretty figured out this week. 4 RBIs.
Inside corner, nice pitch.
I love that she has no fear on the inside part of the plate. Especially with the runner on second. A ground ball to the left side most likely keeps the runner where she is.
0-2 the count. Goes for the change up, allows the runner to get down to third base. So Hollis Durham is now on third base with only 1 out. Hodge looking to drive her in now.
The infield for Georgia is electing to stay back with the runner on third. We'll see sometimes infields will come in, especially in a close ball game, and try to cut down that runner at home plate, but middles are right there on the edge of the grass.
Good pitch from Gottney. Second strikeout.
Kara Gottney says, I don't care where my defenders are playing. I'm just going to take care of it myself. Climbs the ladder. Great pitch.
Next time. Avery Moore up to bat now. 2 outs. Got that runner on third. Takes a strike. So Avery's sister Beckett with the beautiful sacrifice bunt a little earlier. Favorite movie, Christmas Story.
I was walking out of the hotel today and they had Christmas music playing.
Really?
Yes.
It's a little premature.
I know, but I kind of liked it.
I mean, we just had half Christmas, June 25th. Christmas in July, maybe? Base hit, scores a run here. 2 outs, though. That's hit right at Hayden Overcash. And Georgia gets off the field without surrendering a run. And Georgia coming to the plate when we come back to Warner Robins. Welcome back to the Little League Softball Regionals on ESPN, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Elimination game here between South Carolina and Georgia. The winner moves on to play tomorrow at 2 Eastern on ESPN against a North Carolina team that dropped a heartbreaker to Florida earlier today. We will start the day tomorrow here in Warner Robins on ESPN before we send it out to the rest of the nation. A full day of softball regional semifinals tomorrow on ESPN and ESPN2. Yeah, what a game we had to start the day today. Florida, the defending champion, just getting past North Carolina in extra innings. So Florida's in the championship game on Wednesday at 1 on ESPN, excuse me, 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN. And now Georgia up to bat. Walters goes after the first pitch, hits it right at the second baseman Moore. 1 down.
Georgia's been doing a great job of coming out and scoring in the first couple innings of the game, and it wasn't until their last game against Florida that they were able to score later in the game. But these middle innings have seemed to be a lull for Georgia. I'm sure they would love to see some production.
Emerson goes after that first pitch, and Beckett Moore's busy. 2 putouts. Don't blink. Georgia was able to sort of break that trend a little bit yesterday. Got some runs after that first inning.
That massive 5th inning come from behind, and I thought to myself, don't let Georgia get hot, because they look good offensively.
Emily Black, the batter. Little check swing. Parks has trouble picking it up, and Emily Black is safe at first.
Just a little tough luck for South Carolina. Bryn Parks, this ball just pops off the heel of her glove and then throw a little bit low. Ava Ahmed, we've seen her make some tremendous plays at first base.
Georgia will take the base runner. So Black is on first base now, and this is our first look at Carden Hinton. She had been injured and is just getting the green light to play today. Pops that up to shortstop, and Bigler makes the catch. So a quick inning. Good work by the South Carolina defense. 6 pitches is all it took.
Athletes Unlimited at the Little League Softball World Series.
Makeup of a superstar.
Look at that play!
The Little Leaguers will be in the stands.
They're so excited to see us, and we're excited to see them.
They dream of being me, and I was once them.
Now we've got Little League regional action going on all over the country today, and you can keep up with it with the debut of Little League's Around the Bases, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Coverage is going on right now, coverage of every region on ESPN Plus. Keeping my eye on it here in the booth. Grounder right away out to shortstop, and 1 down. Wow, the pace of play just so fast. Don't they know we have promos to get in? Come on.
It's hot out there. Both teams swinging early in counts, and you know, with 2 really good pitchers in the circle, sometimes that first pitch is going to be the best pitch you see in your at bat.
Georgia switches out their catcher just about every inning, and right now Ella Walters is behind the plate. And the batter's Emma Biggert. Biggert is the final batter in the 11-batter batting order. Had 5 outs in the last 10 pitches, Brittany. Is that fast?
I think that's pretty quick.
Strike.
That's what happens when you have pitchers that throw strikes. They live around the strike zone. Haven't seen much over the heart of the plate, but definitely hitting those corners, and Caragotny still peppering that inside part of the plate.
Already in the top of the third of this 6-inning game. Gotney, another good pitch. Strikeout number 3.
And that's what you get when you can establish the inside part of the plate, and then when you get ahead, you can go away. A great pitch sequencing there by Caragotny and great execution.
Back to the top of the batting order now for South Carolina. Riley Bigler got a single in her first at bat, ended up scoring South Carolina's only run. It's that sharply on the ground. Over Cash, no problem. And Gotney has now retired 7 straight batters. And Georgia still out in front as we head to the bottom of the third.
Welcome to the Little League Softball World Series.
This is as big as the event has ever been.
12 strikeouts tonight.
Find the glove!
It is out of here!
The competition has definitely elevated. The best is yet to come.
We're going to send a team to the Softball World Series from Warner Robins. We know Florida's going to play for the title for a second straight year. They advanced today, beating North Carolina 3-2 in extra innings. North Carolina comes back tomorrow and will face the winner of our current game between Georgia and South Carolina. The game tomorrow will start the day at 2 Eastern on ESPN. We are determining their opponent right now, bottom of the third. And it is Georgia up to bat with a 2-1 lead. Riley Gramley, the batter. Love that her dad's her favorite athlete.
Who do you think you filled out the questionnaire for?
Come on, Brett. Spoiled the mood. Her dad, Matthews, is supervisor in the Air Force Base here. Warner Robins, big military town. The Warner Robins Air Force Base. That's it sharply, but right at Bigler.
Smoked off the bat of Riley Gramley. I mean, she could not have hit this ball any harder. If it wasn't hit right at Bigler at short, that would have been extra bases. But Bigler right there to make the play.
Kai Overcash coming up to bat now, having the thrill of playing alongside her sister here in this Southeast Regional.
It's going to be so fun to be able to play with your sister. I'm sure there are moments that sisters have, but especially at this stage, to share these experiences and have these memories and with your sister at the same time.
This is Kylie. They all call her Kai. Her sister's Hayden, who's been making all those great plays at second base. Georgia's had 5 straight at-bats with 3 pitches or less. Let's see what happens here. It's been a quick game. Fouled out of play. This is such a beautiful facility. All these fans get the shade. These guys are having trouble catching up with that ball. All right, he wins.
That's hilarious. He got all the way to the top and then came back down.
Good pitch.
We have not seen the change up from Bryn Parks very much. That time she zeroed it in, ahead in the count with 2 strikes. Beautiful pitch. Not much Kylie could have done on that one.
First strikeout today for Parks. Back to the top of the batting order for Georgia, Cami Sisa, who led off the game with a single. Sisa, a lefty, glances over to her dad, who's coaching third base.
Location just off the plate.
Wonder if her dad knows her special talent is burping on command.
I bet he is familiar with that.
He probably taught her that.
If she grew up around the fire station, who knows what else she learned.
There's some of Warner Robins' finest in the cool whites today. Cami has a sister, Addison, that played in this event. Grounder back over to Bigler at short. And Bigler with another put out. So Georgia going down 1-2-3 for the first time today. But South Carolina down 2-1 at the end of 3.
One pitch at a time. No matter how big the game is, concentrate on the job that needs to be done. Focus, breathe, appreciate the moment, because tomorrow will be here soon enough. So be present and live life one pitch at a time.
Well, pitching has been a very applicable word all day long, and we're carrying that theme into this game as well. Karagotny in the circle. She's had a consecutive 6 pitch frames. Not really putting any stress on that arm today.
Just feeding her defense. Georgia team loves their defense. They trust their defense. Somebody wasn't ready.
Home plate umpire Anthony Thornton taking time out.
Now we're set.
Hillick takes a strike. Hillick struck out in her first at bat. Hillick, good basketball player. Favorite athlete's Caitlin Clark. Loves to shoot the 3 ball. Got bat on that, and then charging in to make the catch was Kara Gottney. It's a good pitch.
Change of speed here too, and we haven't seen the changeup very much, but the second time through the lineup, Kara Gottney has been holding back her changeup. Great time to bring it out now.
So 1 down, Georgia protecting that 2-1 lead. A 1-run game to start the day. Ava Ahmed up to bat now for South Carolina. Working the inside corner, that's a strike. Ahmed, a 3-sport athlete at school. Does softball, volleyball, and basketball at school, and then does some swimming in the summer. Locking in. Ahmed, the batter, is also staring out to center field where some softball siblings have been dueling flags out there. Trying to be a distraction.
Actually dueling.
Yeah, they were. Georgia flags on the grass now. Okay, now it's picked up. That's what we're referring to. Those are guys are trying to establish dominance out there. Inside. Did she go? No. 3-2. The count goes full to Ahmed. One out here in the top of the 4th. And the 3rd full count for Gottney. That's inside, and that is a walk. So South Carolina has the tying run at first base. Just the 2nd walk given up today by Gottney. Drew Austin did such a good job behind the plate for South Carolina today. Now up to bat. Do you know why softball players love to play softball so much?
No. Why?
Because diamonds are a girl's best friend.
Ah, that's a good one.
Good joke, Drew. It's off her hands, foul ball.
There's so much that Kara Gottney can go to from that pitch. Up in the hands, jams, you can go with her changeup. She can go right back to that location, or she can go low and away. Just establishing that location is a big deal, and she does it so well. Austin
Drove in South Carolina's only run back in the 1st inning. Time been called to get some players out to the bullpen. This facility has bullpens down the left field line, the right field line. Inside, runner thought about going, stayed. Runner's Ahmed at first. 2-1 the count. South Carolina trailing Georgia. Ahmed, that might be perfect. It is. However, it caused enough delay by Ahmed to make an easy force out at second. But Austin is now 2 for 2 today.
It's just tough luck for Ahmed at first base. She takes a step back towards first. She has to hold up in case that ball is caught.
Parks fouls that out of play, hits the fence on the right field line. Cotney making a chase. We've seen quite a few plays in foul territory today from that first base position.
I think we're going to have a courtesy runner for Drew, the catcher at first base.
So Austin will come out, and Ahmed will run for her again. Austin got that hit to drop right between second base and right field. It's been a sweet spot for a lot of players this week.
Especially with some of the power we've seen. The outfielders are playing deeper, respecting the power, and then sometimes it just drops in.
Marks waited on that pitch, still was ahead of it. Fouled off 0-2, 2 outs. Cotney has maintained the lead. It out to center field. White gets a jump, can't make the catch. Runner going to third, gets back up and will stay. So runners now at second and third. Another perfectly placed ball off this hit.
And you have to place it perfectly if you're going to get a ball to fall near Mackenzie White. She almost comes up with a shoestring grab, but a little collision at third base. Everybody seems to be okay. Ahmed just going into hard. Kylie Emerson takes the brunt of that.
So South Carolina threatening now, top of the fourth with 2 outs. They got runners at second and third. Hollis Durham trying to drive in a run. Base hit would do that. Durham drew a walk in her first at bat today. Pitch up high, runners threatening to go. Riley Gramley, the catcher, checking them both. Big opportunity here for South Carolina. Durham fouls it back to keep the at-bat going here at 2-1. Outside, a walk would load the bases. 2 outs. South Carolina trailing by a run here in the top of the fourth.
Hollis Durham, one of those players that played in this regional last year, returns this year in a big spot. She's not pressing. She's making sure the ball's over the plate.
3-2.
I think that experience of being here and playing in these big moments is leading to the composure we're seeing in the box right now.
8 players were on the same South Carolina team last year that were here in Warner Robins. Full count with 2 outs. Top of the fourth, 2 on for South Carolina. That is hit out to right field. Overcash makes the catch. South Carolina strands two. Georgia survives it, and Georgia still carries a 2-1 lead into the bottom of the fourth. Well, you can find Little League on social media at Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. The official handle is @Little League. And don't forget to use the hashtag LLWS. Some of the South Carolina fans upset their team couldn't score a run in that last inning when they had 2 on. Georgia's hanging on to the lead. The hometown team from here in Warner Robins, Georgia, up 2-1. And at bat here in the bottom of the fourth. Garagotny, the pitcher, up to bat now. Gotney reached base on a fielder's choice in her first at bat today. Ended up scoring one of those 2 runs. Gets that to second base. Moore picks it up and gets the put out. Good range by Beckett. Moore at second.
She can go both ways. We've seen her make plays up the middle with the backhand this time, going to her glove side. Staying down on this ball is huge. Nice little flip over to first base.
Now the younger Gotney, Lania Gotney, up to bat. Favorite subject is PE, but she also wants to be a PE teacher one day.
It's a pretty perfect match.
So it works. Gotney sisters collectively hoping that if they were to win the lottery, they could get a dog. Mom says that's the only way.
No, we tried.
Yeah.
Definitely tried.
Not going to happen otherwise. And they could afford another house for the dog and someone to take care of it other than Mom. That's hit hard out to right field, but it is right at Ellis Hodge, and she dropped it. So Lania Gotney on base.
I'll tell you, this sun right now, especially in right field, is really challenging.
Yeah.
It's definitely an obstacle you have to overcome. That time just pops out of the glove of Ellis Hodge in right field.
Yeah, sun sets on that left side of the field, and as it starts to drop, it is right in that right fielder's eyes. So a bit of a break for Georgia. Let's see if they can take advantage of it. There's Peyton Stewart, who had a huge hit in her last at bat. just high for the ball. Got the 2 RBI double. Future cosmetologist. That gets through. Runner keeps going. Gautney into third. Runners at second and third. Good base running. And Peyton Stewart with another clutch hit.
And the fans are alive and well here in Warner Robins, Georgia. That is just off the glove of Bigler, and I love the aggressive base running by Gautney. There was no hesitation coming around second base.
Georgia with 2 on, 1 out, and a 1-run lead. Good comeback pitch by Parks. Hayden Overcash carries a lucky guitar pick in her back pocket. I hope she brought it today. Austin does a good job behind the plate.
She's been terrific all week long. That stop right there just saved a run.
Base hit scores a run. Bunt goes down. Bases loaded. No play for Austin.
As bad as Drew Alston wanted to get an out at first base on this perfectly placed ball, she did the right thing and held on to the ball. If she would have thrown it to first base, Gautney would have come across to score.
Very intelligent play by the catcher, Austin, and now Mackenzie White steps up to the plate now with the bases loaded in front of her. And South Carolina is going to take a timeout. Manager Zach Durham heading out to the circle.
This is a big moment in the game. Bottom of the 4th. Reminder, we only play 6 innings. So we're on the back half of the game, 1-run game, but bases loaded, 1 out. Coach Zach Durham just trying to get his defense all on the same page. Hey, we've got to go 4 here. Got to get that out at the plate.
Mackenzie White is a big bat as well.
Yes, a lot of power in her bat.
So Coach Durham heading back to the dugout after giving the instructions. Bryn Parks settling into the circle now with some work to do. Bases loaded, 1 out. White hits it to right field, and it goes foul.
We've seen Georgia just drop some fly balls in this game, and with the infield pulled in and the outfield at their regular depth, there's a ton of space between the infielders and the outfielders.
Great fouls, another one.
Go with the changeup.
0-2. Another good stop by Austin behind the plate.
It's so important for a pitcher to trust the catcher behind the plate, especially in an 0-2 count where you don't want anything close to the zone. You know you can throw your pitch and Austin's going to be there for you.
And White goes down swinging. The strikeout by Parks to get the 2nd out, her 2nd strikeout of the day. That was a big one.
Biggest one of the game so far. Paints that outside corner. Mackenzie White has no choice but to swing at it, but just enough movement at the end to miss the bat. Now the infield can go back to their regular positioning with 2 outs.
Ella E. Walters, one of the leaders on this team, up to bat now with the bases loaded, 2 outs. Morse goes after that pitch. Parks just trying to take this into her own hands. Throw strikes. Bases loaded. That's hit sharply to third. The throw goes to first, and they make the play. So Georgia unable to score with the bases loaded, but that's mostly because of the lockdown South Carolina defense. Back here in Warner Robins, Georgia, both teams have had a lot of chances, but the pitchers have been outstanding.
And for Georgia, Kara Gottney, she has been throwing everything at these South Carolina hitters. She's been working up and in, down and away, and then second time through the lineup, we've seen her changeup be on point. Kara Gottney is locked in right now.
Georgia just left 3 of those 5 runners on base. Georgia still with the lead here deep in the game. Top of the 5th inning. Beckett Moore the batter. And Moore goes after the first pitch, and it is caught. Good heads-up play by Lania Gottney.
South Carolina coming into this half inning after forcing Georgia to leave the bases loaded, gain some momentum from that. I'd love to turn that around into some offensive momentum as well.
It's a good start for the Georgia defense to try to avoid that momentum. Ellis Hodge up to bat. Hodge, future interior designer. Takes the ball inside.
Now batting number 15, Ellis Hodge.
Picking up right now. Blowing toward left center. That's on the ground, back to the pitcher. Sister to sister for the put out. Don't leave me hanging. Avery Moore. 2 outs already.
It's quick work.
Trying to get something going here for South Carolina.
And if you're South Carolina, Kara Gottney is really working that inside part of the plate. Maybe take a half a step back, free your hands to be able to get to that pitch.
Check swing off the hands. wind blowing the rosin back. Strike two.
Sometimes when your stuff's working, all your stuff's working like Kara Gottlieb has right now, the changeup coming into effect later in this game.
She's had seven putouts today with 1 or 2 pitches. Over to third, Emerson makes the throw to first. 3 up, 3 down. Georgia, so far, has done a good job protecting that 1-run lead. Welcome back to the Little League Softball Regionals on ESPN, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Well, one of the leaders of the Warner Robins Fire Department is managing his team effectively right now. Some of his co-workers here watching as Georgia carries a 2-1 lead here into the bottom of the 5th. South Carolina will have one more chance to try to catch Georgia. There's Brandon Sisa, the manager of this team and the battalion chief of the fire department here. He also played Little League on the Warner Robins Little League team more than 30 years ago. Georgia up to bat, trying to add runs to that lead. Kylie Emerson, the batter now. Emerson hits that to shallow center field, and it drops in for a base hit.
After Georgia stranded, the bases loaded, they had an opportunity last inning to get some insurance. They know they want a couple more runs before going into the bottom of the 6th. And Kylie Emerson is exactly what you need to do to start a rally, get that leadoff runner on.
Emily Black up now to try to keep it going. One of those pitchers they can use. Georgia has so much depth at that position. That's a tough ball. Oh, and caught by the center fielder, Hollis Durham, but almost a collision with Avery Moore. Good job to hold on to that one.
And a tremendous jump, too. She read this perfectly off the bat. Hollis Durham was right under that. Miscommunication, but at the end of the day, the ball was caught. That's all that matters for South Carolina right now.
Carden Hinton coming up to bat now for Georgia, her second at-bat of the regional. Dreams one day of being a country singer. Just get her to do the anthem.
We've had some great anthem singers.
Yeah.
I'm sure she would fit right in.
Goes after that pitch. Runner has to come back. Marks still in the circle for South Carolina. Managed the situation in the last inning where the bases were loaded and South Carolina didn't give up any runs. It's a strike. Outside, 2-2. Hinton, the batter, had been injured. Just coming back, getting the green light to play today.
It's going to be exciting for her.
Yeah.
To watch her team work through districts, win the states, come out here in regionals, finally get the ability to contribute just as a supporter and a great teammate. Also, in here and swing the bat a couple times.
Good discipline not to swing. Count goes full, runner at first. 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Winner of this game will play North Carolina tomorrow in the semifinal on ESPN. Popped up to third base, and the catch made by Callie Hillock. 2 outs.
And all the action offensively in terms of runs happened all the way back in the first inning. And Bryn Parks has kept Georgia off the scoreboard since then. And I think South Carolina team will have a lot of confidence going into their last at bat if they can keep this to a 1-run game.
Had a similar scenario in our first game, where it was a 1-run lead going into the final inning, and the team that was behind tied the score. Ended up going to extra innings, and Florida won in extra innings over North Carolina. North Carolina's been watching this game, or they were for a little while. They'll play the winner tomorrow. Bounces, gets past the catcher, and easily going to second is Emerson. So Emerson now in scoring position with 2 outs. Goes after that one. Big pitch coming here for Parks, 1-2. Trying to get the strikeout and get back up to bat.
Bryn Parks has been so efficient. No free passes on the day for her.
South Carolina with only 3 hits today. Georgia's gotten 6. Parks doesn't get the call, 2-2.
With a little smile. Written from a fan too. They wanted that pitch bad. It was a good pitch.
Gramley pops it up to shortstop. Bigler comes over, makes the catch. So the South Carolina season comes down to this next at bat. Georgia up 2-1, heading to the top of the 6th. The Little League Softball Regionals on ESPN are presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's. Well, one of the best hills to slide down in all of softball. Not a lot of action on that hill right now. Most of the sliding's earlier in the day.
Everybody's locked into this game right now, Sam. One-run game. Two teams going right at it.
South Carolina's season coming down to this last at bat. They accomplished their goal of getting back here as a team. Harper Wolf up to bat now. Georgia trying to lock it down at home. Wolf takes a couple of pitches, 2-0.
If you're Kara Gottney in the circle, you've done great all game long of attacking the strike zone. Good reminder to yourself as a pitcher that the pressure is on the hitters right now. You're the one with the one-run lead.
He's shaking out that right hand. It's the heat of the day. Inside, 3-0. What kind of message would you have given your defense going out in this situation?
I would have told them basically the same thing. Pressure's on South Carolina right now. We're the ones defending the lead. A little life for South Carolina with a leadoff walk.
Wolf runs down to first. She's the tying run. And the go-ahead run coming to the plate in the form of Emma Biggert. Brandon Sisa going to come out and talk to Gottney in the infield. It's only the third walk given up today by Gottney. Just calm everybody down. So we got this.
Defense has been outstanding all game long. It's time to take a nice deep breath. Know where your play is here. Got a runner on first. The ball takes you up the middle. Let's get the lead runner, but just be sure of an out somewhere.
Emma Biggert coming up to bat with a runner on. Her team trailing by a run here in the top of the sixth. The South Carolina team's been so inspiring this year, accomplishing their goal of getting back after being eliminated last year. That bunt stays fair. Throw is off the mark. Runner going to third. And that was about as perfect a bunt as you could ever put down.
Textbook. You talk about how you want to put down a sacrifice bunt. Emma Biggert, watch her tape right here. Bat out in front, watches it down, is not trying to get out of the box in a hurry, wants to make sure her job is done. First baseman Gottney stayed back on the play, so her sister Kara had to come in and make the play, makes a wide throw. Now we have first and third and no outs, so we're back at the top.
Riley Bigler, the leadoff batter, up to bat with no outs. South Carolina must catch Georgia in this at bat or their season is over. Runner goes to second, uncontested. So runners at second and third now. Wolf is the runner at third. Biggert is out there at second.
Look where the defense is. The middles have their heels on the edge of the grass with the runners at second and third. Anything in the dirt on the ground, especially at the middle. Harper Wolf's going to be taking off for home to tie this up.
Bigler, one of those returners from last year's team, gives them so much leadership. I'm sure she's exactly who coach would want up to bat right now in this situation. Led the game off with a hit. scored South Carolina's only run way back in the first inning. Smashes that into center field. South Carolina has tied the score. They will send the runner home, and Georgia does a great job to get the runner out at home, so the score stays tied 2-all.
This is who South Carolina won at the plate, and she delivered with a shot up the middle. Harper Wolf scores easily. But then Emma Biggert, the little bobble from the Mackenzie White and hesitation around third base. What a relay to get that out at the plate to keep it tied.
Second straight game of the day where the trailing team has come back to tie the score in the final inning. We saw North Carolina do that to Florida earlier today, but ended up dropping that game. Callie Hillock up now, looking for her first hit of the day. The runner in scoring position out at second base. Bigler with a big hit. Gets past the catcher. Bigler's going to run down to third, standing up.
I think we might have a timeout pitching change.
Well, Karagotny has done such a good job in the circle today.
Tremendous effort by Botany.
This is one position where Georgia has a lot of depth. They have 6 pitchers. A lot of times they'll warm up 2 and see who has the best stuff. So Gotney, fantastic day today in the circle. Her day in the circle for now is done. We'll be back with the pitching change. Hayden Overcash is our new pitcher, coming over from second base, and that's where Karagotny went.
Hayden Overcash is very familiar in this relief role, and it does a great job. The one thing that makes her stand out is an elite changeup. She can throw in any count.
Facing Callie Hillock now. Count 2-1. Runner at third base. South Carolina's just tied the score here in the top of the 6th. Winner moves on to play North Carolina tomorrow. Whoever loses this game, their incredible season's over. Good pitch.
And Georgia needed somebody to come in and lock it down. They've turned to Hayden Overcash, and she has delivered each time.
Disciplined look by Hillock. The local crowd wanted the strike.
They were celebrating the strike.
Again, this Georgia team is from here in Warner Robins, the local Little League, winning the state title. Hillock pops it foul.
changeup, just doing enough to get a piece of it, stay alive, extend your at bat.
See Hillick taking a deep breath. Count stays full, runner at third, 1 out. Rally caps are on with the softball siblings. Underhand, they get the out, but the run scores. And South Carolina leads 3-2.
South Carolina taking the lead. This was a great pitch by Hayden Overcash. Gets it off the end of the bat of Hillick, but placed perfectly. Overcash did all she can, got the out, but South Carolina has taken the lead.
South Carolina hasn't led since the first inning. They started the game up 1-0. Ava Ahmed up to bat now. Ahmed drew a walk in her last at bat. 2 outs. Georgia will have another at bat. Ahmed crushes that. Extra bases. Ahmed continuing to run. Heading to third, and the throw not in time. Ava Ahmed with the speed.
We've just been waiting to see Ava Ahmed's speed. This time she gets out in front just a little bit, but she's able to keep her hands back, and that's why she's able to drive this ball on a line all the way to the fence in left field and books it around, slides into third. South Carolina doesn't seem like they're done just yet.
Rally caps are working. Again, this field is 225 all the way around, so if you get a ball past an outfielder, you are definitely going to be able to take advantage of it. So the runner at third is Ahmed. Alston up to bat with 2 outs. Alston already today with an RBI. Puts that on the ground over to shortstop. Sisa makes the throw to first, not in time. South Carolina scores another run. A 3-run 6th inning so far.
Just a ground ball towards the hole, but the speed of Drew Alston down the line, the speed has been a factor all week long, making the defense kind of rush, and I think that's what happened to the sure-handed Sisa over there at shortstop.
Alston gets the courtesy runner now. So Ahmed, actually that's a Hillick out there running for her now. Alston, what an RBI machine today. Big hits. Bryn Parks up to bat, 2 outs. Pulls that foul.
Bryn Parks has been pitching a gem in the circle. Gave up 2 runs in the bottom of the first. You know, she's loving seeing some run support here in the last inning of this ball game. She's going to try and add to it.
Well, what a comeback for this South Carolina team. 3 runs and counting here in the 6th inning. They were down by a run when they came up to bat. That's cut off by Emerson, and Emerson makes the throw. So now the Georgia season comes down to this next at bat as they trail by 2 in the bottom of the 6th. Pressure now on Georgia as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. The hometown team trailing 4-2. South Carolina with an inspiring top of the 6th. They came into this inning down by 1. They scored 3 runs in that last at bat to take the 4-2 lead. The winner of this game will play North Carolina tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m. on ESPN. And it'll be Kai Overcash coming to bat to try to start the Georgia rally, trying to walk this off. Overcash, grounder over to Moore. 1 down. Go to the top of the batting order now with the leadoff batter, Cami Sisa.
This game's far from over right now. Top of the lineup, Cami Sisa has been one of the hottest hitters of any team this week. Trying to get a rally going here.
Sisa 1 for 2 today. Led the game off with a single.
Understandably, Bryn Parks being careful with Cami Sisa, does not want to leave something over the plate, but falling behind 2-0 here.
Good pitch. 2-1. Parks has gone the distance today for South Carolina. She's been their main starter in the postseason. Sisa goes after that pitch, fouls it off. South Carolina cut their rotation down to 3 pitchers for the state tournament and the regional. Parks, Hillick, and Bigler, with Parks being the starter. Sisa sends it back up to the middle. What a play by Parks.
Incredible play by Bryn Parks. This ball, the backhand goes down to a knee, then throws a strike over to first base. I mean, her reaction time was little to none. Look at her, look up at the sky, a little bit of relief she feels, but her teammates behind her are fired up after that one.
2 outs, South Carolina an out away from the comeback win. Kara Gottney up the bat. Extends Georgia's season with a smooth single to center field.
And she's fired up too, and you said it, that was smooth, such a pretty swing, keeping Georgia alive. First pitch, a little off-speed piece, stays down and through it. That's a beautiful piece of hitting. Outfield's playing way deep, trying to keep everything in front right now.
Gottney had done such an excellent job in the circle. Her first hit of the day, and now her sister up the bat, Lania Gottney. 2 outs. No room for error for Georgia. Two balls, no strikes. Runner at first, 2 outs. Good pitch by Parks. Gottney over the right fielder's head. One Gottney should score and does, and the other makes it to third. Georgia within a run.
Wow, down to their last out. And Lania Gottney just destroys a ball. Her third triple of the regional, none bigger than this one right here to pull Georgia within one.
And with 2 outs, the softball brothers trying to push their team across the finish line here. The tying run is at third base now. And the winning run walking up to the plate in the form of Peyton Stewart, who has had a couple of big hits today.
She's seeing the ball well, 2 for 2 day. The lefty.
And Georgia's season on the line. Strike on the outside corner. Good first pitch back from Parks.
Yeah, nerves of steel. Come right back and throw a strike.
Inside. Austin, the catcher, doing a great job behind the plate today. She's going to avoid anything getting past her as well with that runner at third. Takes it out to left field. It drops. And we are tied in the bottom of the 6th.
Just gets a barrel on it. A tough play for Hodge out in left field. Tips off her glove. Georgia scores the run. The emotions are flooding the dugout, the stands. This place is electric right now.
All 3 of these runs with 2 outs. The winning run at second base. Peyton Stewart. No one's had a better day hitting today than her. Hayden Overcash up to bat now, trying to drive Stewart in for the win. Overcash hits it sharply to short. Nice play by Riley Bigler at shortstop. And we go to extra innings for the 2nd game today in Warner Robins. You want to see great softball? Stay with the Southeast region. Both teams come up with a massive 6th inning, and we find ourselves in extra innings, which means the rules change a little bit. The way the game is played in extra innings, we'll have a runner beginning each inning at second base.
I saw this earlier today in the North Carolina-Florida game, and it really came down to who could execute. You're going to look most likely to try and bunt that runner over to third base, and then wait for that big clutch hit.
So the runner at second base, and the batter is Hollis Durham. She does lay down the bunt. Going to come back.
Depends if the umpire says that ball hit her in the box or out of the box. If contact was made with the runner in the box, it's a foul ball. Georgia's yelling that she was out of the box when this made contact. I think her feet were still in there. So her feet are contact there. Good call.
I think they may be thinking about challenging it. You get one incorrect challenge in extra innings. Let's see if it is a challenge. Brandon Sisa coming out and asking for this play to be reviewed.
So what they're looking for here is where was the batter when the ball made contact with her after the bunt. Again, if she was still in the box and made contact with the ball after contact, strike on the batter, we do it again. If she was out of the box, she's going to be ruled out. Ball down, contact there, foot still in the box. Pretty clear. This would be just a strike on the batter. That's tough luck, too, because that was going to be a pretty bunt.
So the call that Anthony Thornton made, he was bringing her back. It's remarkable how similar this game is to our first one today. We had an early challenge in extra innings in that one, too.
That's what happens when you have great teams battling it out. I mean, South Carolina, the more veteran team with 8 of their players have played in this regional. Then Warner Robins playing in front of their hometown crowd. Take a look at great form on the bunting, too. Bat out in front. Just unfortunate for Hollis Durham that the ball bounced right into her. But fortunate enough that her foot was still in the box.
Call on the field was a foul ball. Bryn Parks, the runner, out at second base. I've enjoyed watching her talk to her opponents. They're having a good conversation out there. So fun to watch all these teams interact with each other.
And they're going to be friends forever. They have the shared core memory of competing in a regional here.
So foul ball call on the field is confirmed. And that means Georgia has no more challenges in extra innings. Hollis Durham stays in the batter's box, just the first strike on her. Runner Bryn Parks is at second base. So we've just started extra innings. The winner of this game moves on tomorrow to face North Carolina in the semifinals. Florida's already in the championship on Wednesday. Let's try it one more time. This one works. Advances the runner. Durham's out at first, but she did her job.
She did exactly what she was supposed to do. Gets the ball down. Gets her teammate Bryn Parks over to third base. Less than 2 outs. There's so many different ways that runner can score. A sac fly, a pass ball.
Beckett Moore up to bat now. Moore actually had a sacrifice bunt earlier in the game. Did a nice job. Swinging away here, hits it into left field, and the run will score. So South Carolina retakes the lead 5-4 behind the single from Moore.
Just a mature at bat. Doesn't feel like we're in extra innings. When Hollis Durham's up to bat, smooth and calm, just places this ball right where she needs to get a run across.
Ellis Hodge, the batter, runner on first now. 1 out here in the top of the 7th.
If you're South Carolina or a South Carolina fan, you just watch Georgia put up runs to tie this game up. You know they can put them up in a hurry. You want some extra insurance.
Georgia scored 3 runs with 2 outs. 2 runs with 2 outs. Tied the score, sent us into extra innings. Foul ball. That was close.
That was a close one. Take a look here, right down the third base line. If the ball crosses over top of the third base bag, that's a fair ball. It doesn't get much closer than that. I don't think we can review this because it was called foul on the field. And the only reason I'm saying that is because if it's called foul, the runners stop moving, the defenders stop playing, and you get into the business of trying to, okay, now where would the runners be if we decide this is a fair ball? Now, if they would have said that was a fair ball, you could always go back and change that to foul because you would just return the runners to their original bases. We'll see.
Umpires allowing it. Everybody getting another breather. Back-to-back challenges. Umpires have been correct.
Just because it hits the line in front of the base does not mean that is a fair ball. It has to go over the base.
Definitely looks to me like the right call was made. That's our third base umpire, Patrick Reed.
Now, if this call stays, neither team will have any challenges the rest of the extra inning. But just look how close.
Yeah, hits in fair territory, but when it crosses the bag, it's in foul territory. That's as called. South Carolina wants to make sure. Calls stands. So no more challenges in extra innings. Play ball. Ellis Hodge back in the batter's box. 1-2 the count. Runner at first. Goes after that pitch for the strikeout. Over Cash with the strikeout. 2 outs.
Pulls the string on the changeup here. Beautiful pitch. That is her money pitch.
First strikeout she's thrown since she came on in relief for Karagotny. Beckett Moore, the runner. Avery Moore, the batter. See if one sister can drive the other in. just a little late on that swing. Her sister, though, was speeding around the bases.
I think she was already at second base
Yeah.
before the ball hit the ground.
I think you're right.
She's ready to score. And with 2 outs, the crack of the bat, you're rolling.
2-1 the count to Avery Moore. South Carolina has retaken the lead here in the top of the 7th. We're in extra innings. Georgia will get another at-bat, and they'll start with the runner at second as well. Doesn't get the strike.
That was a great hold.
No doubt what fielder. Warner Robins' finest here. Wanted that strike. That is popped up in foul territory, and nobody could make the play. A little collision there between catcher and first base. Gottney running into Walters. Everybody's okay.
It's gonna hurt the mask from Ella Walters right into the chin. Gottney right there at the end.
Knocked the breath out of me.
Just tough, wow.
She came through in the clutch to get this team in extra innings. Count is full now, 2 outs, runner on. And a called strike 3. Hayden Overcash strikes out the last 2 batters she faces, but Georgia must score to keep their season alive. Winner moves on tomorrow to face North Carolina at 2 Eastern on ESPN. We'll start the day of regional semifinals. Florida's in the championship game Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern. And we are in extra innings, bottom of the 7th. Georgia coming to bat, 1-run ties, 2 wins, and Georgia will face a new pitcher, Riley Bigler, entering the circle for the first time today, but certainly no stranger to that position.
Riley Bigler has been an instrumental part for this team, not just this season, but last season in the circle. She's coming back from a wrist injury. But she's got a nice fastball that she places and then offsets that with a changeup.
Remember, Georgia has the runner at second base right now. Overcash is the runner. So typically the strategy here is to bunt the runner over to third. Mackenzie White is the batter. Squares around, pulls it back. Fouls it back, 1 and 2. South Carolina played from behind for most of this game. White swinging away, deep to center field. The catch is made. Runner's got to get back.
I think they have an obstruction call on the shortstop, Callie Hillick, as Hayden Overcash was trying to get back to second base. But what a hit. I mean, this ball is absolutely smashed by Mackenzie White. You see the contact at the bottom of your screen.
How about that catch by Hollis Durham?
No doubt.
I mean, in theory, that could have won the game with Mackenzie White's speed in this park, 225. So the runner stays at second base, 1 out. Ella Walters up to bat. Georgia must score here to tie the game.
Coach Siza will rely on the big bats now, taking the sacrifice bunt away with 1 out.
Both these teams have faced quite a bit of adversity in this game alone. Both been coming through. Two and 1 the count to Walters. And a strike by Bigler. Bigler, the veteran. Exactly who you'd want in this situation with all the pressure. Count goes full. And that is dropped by second base, but Moore picks it up and makes the play. Runner has to stay on second. Nothing has gotten by Beckett Moore at second base today.
Tremendous day by Beckett Moore, and this ball is smoked off the bat, goes up the middle, nearly makes the grab, but sticks with it and has the awareness to get out at first base. And Hayden Overcash, there was absolutely nothing she could have done. It was either she had to get back to the bag so she wouldn't get doubled off, and then when that ball dropped, she didn't have enough time to make it to third base.
So both teams realizing the moment here. South Carolina is an out away from winning. Georgia is an out away from their season ending. Georgia will have the runner in scoring position up at second base. Hayden Overcash is the runner. Kylie Emerson coming up to bat. Ball 1. Emerson 1 for 2 today. Out into left field, it drops, and Georgia will tie the score. Season saved for now, we play on.
Every time you think Georgia may be out of this game, they just come right back and score runs when they need to. Every time South Carolina has scored a run in this game, Georgia has immediately answered back, and no bigger moment than that one right there.
The RBI hit from Kylie Emerson, who is now standing on second base. Georgia now with a chance to win the game with 2 outs. Emily Black, the batter. Saw Florida walk off our last game, which was in extra innings today against North Carolina. Georgia trying to do it here. Inside. 3-0. Bigler fires the strike. 3-1. Black will take her base. Runners at first and second.
Just love the emotion all game long. These teams have been locked in. This game means so much to each team, each player. Done so much work to get here.
South Carolina entered the final inning trailing. They tied the score, took the lead, and then Georgia had to respond to that. They pushed it into extra innings. South Carolina scored in the top of the 7th, and now Georgia has matched South Carolina.
Every time.
Carden Hinton, who has not played until today, coming back from injury. 2 runners on in front of her, 2 outs. Goes after that pitch. Out of play, good hustle though. Pitch from Bigler to get ahead of the count. 0-2, 2 outs. South Carolina trying to get another at bat. That misses. 1-2. Popped up, and a catch made by Hillick. So extra innings continues. Some dramatic stuff here in Warner Robins. We're tied at 5 after 7 innings. Back here in Warner Robins, we are heading into the 8th inning in what is supposed to be a 6-inning game. Each team's season is on the line. The winner will move on to face North Carolina tomorrow in the semifinals at 2 Eastern on ESPN. Both teams have legitimately faced elimination today.
Been down to their last out more than one time. Just a different player for each team continues to step up and have the big hits when they need them most.
Avery Moore is the base runner at second here in extra innings. Nice bunt. Get the runner at first, move the runner to third. Second straight inning, they have executed that to perfection.
Such a key piece when you go into international tiebreaker and you have the runner on second base. It usually comes down to what team can move that runner from second to third, then come with the clutch hit. South Carolina back-to-back innings, able to execute perfectly.
Emma Biggert up to bat now. Runner is at third. That runner's Avery Moore. Nice pitch from Overcash. Biggert looking for her first hit of the day, and it would give her team the lead. Inside. Overcash came on in relief near the end of regulation. Done an excellent job so far.
She really has. It's kind of been her role this entire regional, and some pitchers just made to come in sticky situations and lock it down, and that's all Overcash has done this whole week.
Being very careful right now with Emma Biggert. Runner on third, 1 out.
Just missed.
Full count.
Flags are still waving out there.
Well, Georgia guy's out there too. He's just to the right of those guys. That's right back up the middle. Well played by Overcash. Held the runner at third, got the put out at first.
The awareness of Overcash on this play, just to make the play one and then to hold the runner at third base, sets her feet, gets her eyes on first base, and throws a strike. Incredible play. Yes, you deserve a smile right there.
Just all day, the level has been so high here in the Southeast region. Riley Bigler, the leadoff batter for South Carolina, now up with the runner on third, 2 outs, goes after that pitch to second base. Gautney not in time. South Carolina retakes the lead.
Absolutely nothing else Kara Gautney could have done on this play. She does a great job of getting to it, but it's a second infield hit for Riley Bigler, using her speed. And this time it results in an RBI to take the lead.
She's 3 for 4 today, Bigler. Callie Hillock up now. Bigler the runner at first. South Carolina with a 1-run cushion now here in the top of the 8th. Remember, Georgia will get to come to bat as well with a runner starting on second. South Carolina scored in their last at bat here in extra innings, and Georgia matched them. That is slicing foul out of play. This game started at 1:25 local time. It's 3:49 now in the heat of the day.
But the energy from these teams, it doesn't seem like it. They've been sitting in 100-degree weather.
Not at all. Base hit up the middle. So 2 on now for South Carolina at first and second. Hillig stops at first. Bigler is at second. And Ava Ahmed coming up to bat now.
Ahmed's got a big bat. We saw her last at bat crank a triple, and the speed that we saw this inning from Riley Bigler standing on second base. This is drawn up just like Coach Zach Durham had hoped when he wrote his lineup out today.
Nice pitch by Overcash. So hard to hit the home run in this park. 225 all the way around.
You can't be thinking home run right now if you're Ahmed. You just want to get the barrel on the ball and get it to the grass. The speed of Bigler do the work around the bases.
Outside, 1-1. So 1-2 now. Overcash ahead in the count on Ahmed. 2 outs. Seen so many teams score with 2 outs though. Georgia trying to hold this lead to 1 and get back up to bat. Overcash with the strikeout. So Georgia will come to bat for a second straight time. Down 1 in extra innings. Well, the fans faithfully sticking around. Longest game of the week. As we are now in the bottom of the 8th inning. The line basically is Georgia needs 1 to tie, 2 to win. South Carolina came from behind to tie the score in the final inning, went ahead by a run, then Georgia tied them. And we keep going back and forth. Having that runner on second base has allowed each team to get a run in extra innings, and we'll start the same way here. Harden Hinton, the runner up at second base for Georgia. Riley Gramley, the batter. Bunt goes foul.
We saw Georgia last inning, the bottom of the 7th inning, not able to get the sacrifice bunt down, but they still found a way to manufacture a run to tie it up. Saw it up in the zone. Nothing good can come from that when you try and bunt something above your hands. Great recognition.
Gramley, the batter. Looking to drive in. Bunt over the runner. Pops it up, and it is caught. Oh, what a catch by Bryn Parks.
Bryn Parks has carried the load in the circle for the majority of the game, but now she may have just made the game-saving catch, leaving her feet to grab that bunt popped up. Wow.
We've seen some incredible defense today in our 2 games. So Hinton, the runner, still at second. Kai Overcash, the batter. Georgia got through a situation like this in the last inning. Overcash takes a strike. Heat from Bigler, 0-2. And Bigler throws the strikeout for the second out. South Carolina's an out away from moving on.
Gets ahead 0-2 and then elevates. Bigler doesn't usually show a lot of emotion. Let a big yell out there. They're 1 out away.
Back to the top of the batting order though. Father-daughter having a chat. Cami Sisa will be the batter. That's her dad, Brandon, the manager.
Such a big moment, and Cami Sisa has done so much all week long to even get Warner Robins and this Georgia team to this moment.
And on second, Sisa slices it out to left field. Just foul.
So that was fair.
Wow.
I think that would have been a walk-off. Wow. First pitch she sees, to be able to have that much power down the opposite field line. I mean, inches.
Back to the drawing board. 0-1 the count. Good discipline by Sisa not to swing.
Especially in this moment. Wow.
Runner at second, 2 outs. Georgia season on the line again. Bottom of the 8th inning in a 6-inning game. Two and two. A full count with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. Runner on second. Sisa smashes it. This one is deep to left. Georgia ties the score. Sisa is still running. A proud father as well as manager. A father-daughter moment they will never forget. Cami Sisa with the back up against the wall for Georgia comes through with this hit.
Down to their last strike. And Cami Sisa delivers the shot she will never forget.
So we are tied, runners coming home. They got to get the put out. Safe! Game is over! Georgia wins! In thrilling fashion, Warner Robins has won this game.
Absolutely unbelievable, the fight that Georgia showed all game, and it came down to an infield single. Speed, the power that Sisa had to get to third base to tie the game up, then it came down to an infield single. The South Carolina team, they made it a goal to get back here, and they did, and they fought. They came back in the 6th inning. When they were out of it, they left their heart on this field. They gave tremendous effort. But Georgia, I don't know if I've seen a grittier team that's never out of a game. They put on a show for their fans, and they survived and advanced.
So the inspiring season of South Carolina comes to an end, and Georgia moving on to face North Carolina tomorrow at 2 Eastern on ESPN. The winner of that will meet Florida in the championship Wednesday morning at 10 Eastern. Now that was a 2.5-hour game, partner. We had back-to-back extra inning games today. 2 exciting one-run games are over. The semis are set. Georgia versus North Carolina tomorrow at 2 Eastern on ESPN. Georgia wins it in extras.